Hi, welcome to today's video. My name's Paul. So this is the second part of this little mini series, me doing some charcoal landscape drawing. And you can see I've started off this one by making a mess. And you might be wondering, why make a mess? Why would you ruin a perfectly good piece of paper? I found, and there's no scientific reason for this is just what I do, and it works for me. But I've found sometimes, when you're faced with a blank page, sometimes a little bit worried about making that first mark. It's especially true, or it's more true, if you have like an expensive canvas or an expensive piece of watercolor paper rather than cheap sketchbook paper. But it's, I guess, a little voice in the back of the head sort of saying, if you make a mistake, you're going to ruin this wonderful canvas or a piece of paper. So sometimes it's just, you've got to get something down and make some sort of mark or scribble or something. In this case, I make a mess, but it's just a way of getting started. Now, some people won't like a finished drawing or sketch that has all these lines and random lines and things in it. I don't mind. It's all part of the process of making art. To me, it is art. It is not a photograph. I'm not trying to get a photographic likeness of reality. It's my interpretation of, in this case, a field, a landscape. Another thing I could say about this one, it's a little bit different from the drawing in the first video, because this one is really just the field. There's no far distance. Really, we can only see as far as that sort of hedgerow that I'm working on at the moment. Because there's no really far distance, it's more difficult to use aerial perspective to get a feeling of depth. So we're drawing a three-dimensional landscape on a two-dimensional piece of paper, but we can use some tricks to try and get that feeling of depth and three-dimensionality in the drawing. Aerial perspective uses sort of values to create that feeling of depth. So with aerial perspective, anything that's really far away, you'll have a narrower sort of value range. So you'll have sort of mid-grays through to the bright whites, but you won't have the really dark values. And it does work in creating that sense of depth. Another way of creating the feeling of depth then is linear perspective. And so what I'm trying to say in this sort of long-winded way is, in this drawing, I'm relying much more, I'm relying completely on linear perspective. And you can see me using a kneadable eraser here to create some lines. And we also have the fence posts. Those things help to create that linear perspective, that feeling of depth, or a little bit of depth in the drawing. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to somebody. Maybe just confuse myself as well as everybody else. But this is the final scan of the final drawing, and I was happy enough with it. It's quite loose, very loose, a little bit messy, and I like all of those sorts of things. Okay, well, thank you for watching. If you'd like to subscribe, just click on the big red subscribe button below. Wouldn't be a YouTuber if I didn't say that. And leave a comment, like if you like. And thank you for watching.